Welcome to Arcane Origins, and today we're going to talk about the story called The Pandavas and the Kauravas Arrive. During a cold winter night in Hastinapura, when frost covered the palace gardens like silver dust, and the torches flickered against the long stone halls, destiny prepared to introduce the warriors who would one day decide the fate of the world. The kingdom now has two princes ready to claim life, one blind but powerful, one frail but wise, and both are destined to be fathers of legends. Pandu is crowned king. Dhritarashtra, though strong as a lion, must step aside, for a king must be able to lead with sight. But Pandu, despite his crown, feels a strange emptiness, a restlessness. He leaves Hastinapura often, hunting in forests, riding through mountains, trying to understand the world and himself. One day, deep in the woods, as sunlight breaks through the high branches, Pandu spots a pair of deer mating. Driven by impulse, he shoots an arrow. The silence breaks. The deer collapses and transforms into a sage. Bleeding, eyes full of agony. The sage curses Pandu. Because you killed in a moment meant for creating life, you shall die the moment you try to create life. Pandu falls to his knees, trembling. In a single heartbeat, his future as a father is destroyed. Pandu feels unworthy of the throne. He leaves the kingdom, choosing exile in the forest. His wives, gentle Kunti and graceful Madri, follow him without hesitation. In the quiet of the forest, Kunti reveals a secret she has carried for years. As a young girl, she served the great sage Durvasa. Impressed by her devotion, he blessed her with a mantra. She could call any god to grant her a child, not through desire, not through touch, but through divine will. Pandu, his voice heavy with guilt and hope, says, "Kunti, if you do not use this blessing, our lineage will die." Kunti agrees. Kunti sits in meditation. A gentle golden light appears. From the heavens descends Yama, the god of righteousness. A child is born, calm, wise, serene. Yudhishthira, the embodiment of truth. Bhima, son of the wind. Next, she calls Vayu, the god of wind. The child born shakes the hut with his cry. Bhima, a boy whose strength will one day echo through mountains. Arjuna, son of Indra. Finally, Kunti calls Indra, king of gods. Thunder rolls. A light brighter than fire fills the forest. Arjuna is born, the greatest archer the world will ever know. Nakula and Sahadeva, sons of the Ashwini twins. Madri, seeing Kunti's blessings, asks to use the mantra once. Kunti agrees. Madri calls the twin gods the Ashwinis. Two children are born. Nakula, handsome as the morning sun. Sahadeva, wise as the night sky. Together, the five become known as the Pandavas. Children born of gods. Children born of destiny. Meanwhile, back in Hastinapura, Dhritarashtra marries Gandhari, a princess of Gandhara. Upon learning she is marrying a blind man, she blinds herself with a cloth. Out of loyalty, out of love, out of conviction, her dedication impresses everyone, even the gods. One night, a blessing is whispered to her. You will be the mother of 100 sons. But destiny rarely gives gifts without conditions. She becomes pregnant for 2 long years. No child, no movement, only pain. Then one day, in frustration, she hits her stomach. A lump of lifeless flesh emerges. She screams. Everyone thinks the prophecy failed. But sage Vyasa arrives and commands, cut this flesh into 100 pieces. Place each piece in a pot of clarified butter. Servants obey. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and then, from each pot, from each piece, a child is born. Not ordinary children, but princes, fierce, loud, restless. The first to cry is Duryodhana. His birth cry echoes like thunder. Horses weep, donkeys shriek, jackals howl. Vidura whispers. His birth brings a bad omen, but Dhritarashtra's heart fills with pride. One by one, 99 more sons are born, and one daughter, Dashala. Thus begins the rise of the Kauravas. Time passes. The Pandavas return to Hastinapura after Pandu's tragic death. Yudhishthira is gentle. Arjuna is focused. Bhima is unstoppable. Nakula and Sahadeva are graceful. And Duryodhana hates it, because Bhima, treats the Kauravas like sparring bags. He wrestles them, he defeats them, he teases them, and every humiliation plants another seed of hatred in Duryodhana's heart. One morning, as the young princes practice with wooden weapons, a stranger enters the training ground, clad in simple clothes, as sharp as arrows, presence quiet, yet powerful. Drona. He introduces himself as a teacher of warfare. Bhishma recognizes his brilliance and appoints him as the royal instructor. Under Drona's gaze, Arjuna becomes his favorite. Bhima becomes a mountain. Yudhishthira masters ethics. Nakula and Sahadeva perfect the sword. Duryodhana becomes a mace warrior. Karna, a mysterious outsider, arrives and challenges Arjuna, and the quiet training ground becomes a battlefield of egos. Arjuna versus Karna, Bhima versus Duryodhana, Pandavas versus Kauravas, a rivalry born in childhood, a hatred that will blaze into war. Thus, under the skies of Hastinapura, the princes of destiny walk their first steps. 5 brothers born of gods, 100 brothers born of ambition, all raised under the same roof, all fed by the same palace, all taught by the same master, but their hearts are forged from different fires. Jealousy, pride, strength, righteousness, destiny. The first sparks of rivalry have been lit, and soon, very soon, they will ignite the greatest conflict the world has ever seen. To be continued in episode 4, The Seeds of Jealousy. Follow and subscribe for the part 4 of this video called The Seeds of Jealousy.